Hello and welcome back. Today I start a bit of a little series of videos describing the effects of the past and the future on Windows, basically. And then I mean quite literally. Now, there's been many YouTube videos done on the subject of Windows' Y10K bug, but there's also the 1601 issue and the 30,828 issue, though the latter is very hard to work. So I'm booting up Windows 11 now to see what will happen. Now the first thing we have to do is actually, for this version of Windows, set up the BCD boot options to 1 so that we can have that boot.ini interface that was with Windows XP and Windows 2000. Since Windows Vista, they used the BCD instead of the old boot.ini file, which makes that trickier, but should still work. So just log in here, and we'll quickly make sure the time zone is UTC time, because we're, I believe, 1 a.m. right now, so right now it's trying to pull from my computer, which is going to be annoying. My computer set to Central Time, so we just go to sync now, and I have it disabled so it won't sync in the middle of the video unless it's doing it through the internet, which it's done when I was testing this off camera. But usually slow enough that we won't have to worry about the effects if we time it just right. So right now it thinks it's 1 in the morning, Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. And it is, if you live in England. And one thing I forgot to do, I need to go do that now, is disable daylight savings time, because they use daylight savings time. So I've disabled that because it might see the date being later in the year and try to go an hour forward, which is not something we want to do, but I highly doubt it's actually going to do that. So the next thing we want to do is run the CMD and press Control Shift and click OK. If you're wondering, this is Windows 11 version 23H2, running in a VirtualBox 7.0.1 virtual machine, and it's a little slow because the cap at 256 megabytes of VRAM, so we won't be able to see the CPU effect well. That is, if it actually loads. There we go. Yeah, this virtual machine is very slow, which is sad. Okay. The CPU is 100% right now, and I don't really understand why. It will eventually drop down if we wait long enough, but as the machine is warming up. But you notice there is no graphics card settings at all, despite the fact we have rounded window corners. There's no graphic card because it doesn't want to recognize one. So the first thing we're going to do here, set the date to the, I tried setting it to 1600 and had some weird OB issue before I just reset the date back to 2024. The date will now become January 1st, of the year 312, 24. And the time, we'll just put it a few minutes past midnight, so. And pay attention to the fact that January 1st, 2024 was a Monday. And the time we're going to set to 000001. The absolute minimum Now I believe the command here is bcd edit, so set options edit 1. And that basically gives us a nice little feature on boot up. So with the date and time modified to our liking, we can go ahead and reboot. And yes, this virtual machine is a little slow to reboot, and it's going to, and the fact that we're messing with the time settings is not going to help. Then one thing I could do, I'll have to do with my reboot. Because I'm using a 4K television, this is causing it to have weird issues, since it uses a lot of VRAM. Though my main computer here is, well, actually not very laggy with the virtual machine running, but it's usually not very slow. That's fine. As you see, when we boot up here, we get this nice little, now my computer ain't that slow since it's not hogging the GPU. Set the year equals 1601 and press enter. The reason what is going on here is 1601, Windows basically uses 100 nanosecond tick marks starting from January 1st, 1601 at midnight UTC, which basically means and it goes until a 64-bit number, which will cause it to break at 2:48:05 seconds in the morning on September 14th, 30,828 AD. So yeah, when your Windows computer is in no threat of breaking through a time bug anytime soon. And it still says Monday, which is kind of weird. Though I believe that 1601 and 2024 has the same days of the week as they do, as I've noticed earlier. Welcome. And it is really slow. I can try shrinking the virtual machine window down a little bit. By doing that, I mean that works. But yeah, no, VirtualBox Editions hasn't loaded yet, so yeah, we're not going to get that at all. Yep, January 1st, 1601. I know in older versions of Windows it caused it to go into a cyclic boot loop, which basically makes the computer unusable until the date is fixed. So let me go into display settings here and try to shrink down the issue here, because it's driving me nuts, the lagginess, and that's now partly caused by the fact we're using 1920 by 1040. Keep changes, yes. That should be a little more usable, and I'm going to go ahead and go to view and go into scale mode. I'm just going to make everything look wrong, but we're going to be fine. Now it's really slow. I don't think that worked. That didn't fix anything, so other than make the virtual machine really, really slow. There we go. That's fine now. And now the clock is sunk, so we're now back in the 2024, which is fine. And seriously, it's now 12:07 in the morning, which I know in UTC it's 1:07 in the morning, so that's date and time. So the next interesting one we'll look at, we can leave it alone. I know it's technically UTC -1 it's displaying, but we can leave that alone. we're going to Windows command prompt again, and curiosity is what's going to let us see how far forward we can set the time. So let's click date and hit enter before we can do anything. There we go. January 1st, 3000. 3000. Date. January 1st, 4000. Whoa, no. 4000. Believe you can go all the way up until some year during the 9th millennium, which is 8,000, not 80,000, 8,000. Well, okay, so the date, 9,000, well, I think it's not a real date. I wasn't paying attention to the keyboard and just entered some random stuff into it. 9,000. They cannot accept that. But it accepts 8,500. Why is it not wanting to register the second time I press the slash key? 8,500. So sometime after the year 8,500, it will not let you set that date any further. But never fear. So let's set the date. We're about 1,500 years short, and we can fix that by going into here, typing it 1231. I'm just going to put 8,500 for the sake of just having fun. Now, now it's getting really slow. 2355. Granted, I believe you can set it further than that. It's just, that'll take a little while to figure that out. So, you know. So, it is now 11:55 p.m. And I can write, quickly, now this Explorer is broken. It really is. Yeah, it just crashed. That didn't work. Doesn't look like that worked. Can I even see what's going on? I'm really persnickety right now. Yes. Time. Date. CD. Startup? Is that a folder? CD shell start up. I know there's a folder I can do this in, so. That doesn't exist, I think it's just one colon, so. What I want to do, because the computer's going to be so bogged down when it boots up, that I want to create a couple of files to run on the moment we log in, to avoid having to deal with how slow it is. So I'm going to go ahead and set the time, well, to 10 minutes to midnight, and give us enough time to get through it, because it is not going to give us enough time, and hopefully it doesn't sink and become 2024, or else we're going to be in its sunk. So That's fine. We can fix that in a minute. I'm gonna create. I don't have to deal with this right now, but we're gonna have to deal with it. We're gonna go into the folder option menu here, and go ahead and hide exception, disable that. There we go. It is being really slow. Alright. And it's going to be stuff.bat I'm going to go ahead and modify it. How do I do that? Show more options to run command and the time date CPO option, which will be fine for me. Which will go ahead and show more options here. Is there like a properties? Is there like a way to security? Sure how to do those details. At least allows us to see the date and time, even though we'll not get administrator privileges, which is fine. We don't have a ton of mess with that. But we're going to set the date to 12/31/24 instead of 8500, and set the time to 2350. Turn on notification from OneDrive. No, not right now. And reboot. The moment you've all been waiting for. The overflow virtual machine running Windows 11. And we'll be looking at older versions of Windows as well in later videos of this series. So yeah. This used to be a Windows XP only thing until I realized that you can edit and modify that file. I actually don't think I've seen it on Windows 10 until a certain video was uploaded in 2018. I was looking at a video from 2015, which is the earliest video I could find on the Y10K bug, and it said it was uploaded 9 years ago, which is honestly very surprising. So. Right, so we're going in. VirtualBox is loading very slowly as usual. I probably should have done this in 1080p, but I didn't, so it is what it is. And the last time bug I could not get to work on Windows 11, the 3828 bug, the 3828, 30,828, not 3828, like 3,828, but I'm rambling. Now it is really slow. Now we've given ourselves a little too much more time than we actually needed. And I can't change it, so. Yeah, we have 8 minutes. 8 minutes. But I'm feeling if I can get into the system and act quick enough, I can change it to 11:58 without changing the date or time, especially since this is connected to the internet, and if left and it would probably be 2024 before it will be 10,000. So give it a second to load. It is now going crazy because, yeah, things are responding extremely sluggishly. I'm going to not wait on. I'm going to open up the command prompt now and hope it will actually load. Yeah, so we can change the dyne quickly before Windows decides it's not 2024. Whoa. I'm going to set it to 2358. Actually, I'm going to set it to 2359.45. Oh, shoot. Well, we may have to try this again. Unless I can go here. Device manager. Where's device manager? Device manager. Oh, not device manager here. You don't understand how tense something is until you're trying to work against the clock, literally. And network adapters. Quick. Disable device. Alright. Yes. Disable it. Alright. Means we should not have access to the internet. Yay! And so we don't have to worry about that. And I noticed my startup script never ran. Kind of interesting. So the taskbar is frozen, so we ain't gonna get much out of that. Actually, I can right click on it just fine. Bring up Task Manager here to see how it's going to respond. It is now 11:55 p.m. Friday, December 31st, 99. And the Microsoft Management Console is running as long with Task Manager and Windows Command Processor and time-date.cpl. I want time-date.cpl. While also dropping the mouse on the ground. Friday, December 31st, 99. So yeah. And as you can see here, problem to see the other operating system will not be as long right now. This is the first part, and it's going to be a more detailed introduction. As we are now... Oh. That was pretty quick. We'll just close out of that. It took forever, but yeah, it would have taken way too long. So, memory usage is pretty good. Our disk usage is remaining okay. And I believe at some point there's going to be some sort of random process that appears because of the problematic date, user mode, font driver, USB broker, and console window host. Wow. All I can say is wow. Now, if you'd like to skip about 3 minutes ahead in this video, I can't stop you. And to be honest, I would probably too. I think this is the process that's now running. That's not supposed to be running. That's running because the date is December 31st, 99. The reason why I'm rambling is so I don't have to edit as much. When the startup application, things look pretty good. We now have 2.5 minutes. till disable the date. And I've disabled the network driver, so we can't use it. It can't connect to the internet anymore, which is fine with me, honestly. So now I believe this will freeze in a minute and 51 seconds. So, yeah. Watching it all. If I click the change date and time button, I believe it puts in 2099. Whoa. My mouse is jittery. Granted, I believe this is now broken. You can't actually, I don't think you can open any Universal Windows application now. I think they're all broken. Oh! Holy cow. Now this is going to be an interesting experiment, if that ever loads. Now granted, I can't get the full calendar to show. Now 1 minute from midnight. Which is weird. Now, can we open settings and actually view it from there? It is taking a while to open up that window. Actually, start menu is what I meant to say. And here we go. Practically unable to do anything because it's already at 100 CPU, and yeah. Whoa, it actually did not freeze this time. When I was testing this off camera, it froze and would not actually continue counting the date. 10,000, wow. Yeah, no, this is really lagging. The Saturday, January 1st, 10,000 CE. Go. Yep. It's not what I meant to write. Echo data. System is now very unresponsive. Nothing is working, and I think the animation is still halfway through the start menu animation there. Well, it looked like it for a second. Next. Well, yeah, and as of course, the memory does seem to be fine. The CPU is now just all over the place. Where is the system time broker? Whoa, it is really laggy. Well, let's take a look at one last date bug, if I can get it to work. And we're going to set the date to 9/14/2024. And we're going to set the time. Whoa, now everything started working again all of a sudden. Notice nothing's lagging. So it is lagging, so we're not going to be able to go anywhere. So yeah, we're just going to deal with that and get the time to approximately 2:43 a.m. If I can actually do it, okay, because at 2:48 and 5 seconds on September 14th, 30,828 AD, that epoch that started on January 1st, 1601, runs into the 64-bit limit, and it's ran by 100 nanosecond ticks. So, now being 2:14 in the morning instead of 2:43 in the morning, which I actually want it to be. There we go. That was weird. Just where did I get 2:14? Why did I put 2:14? I wanted 2:43. 2:48. We're not waiting 40 minutes though. Probably have better luck if we actually set it a little earlier. Though I've noticed the operating system increasingly becomes unstable after January 1st, 10,000, to the point where someone actually was unable to use the operating system. That same YouTuber who I first saw do this on a non-Windows XP virtual machine noticed that it stopped working sometime in the 277th century. And right now we're trying to put it in the 309th century. And yeah, we're in the 21st century to give you some context. So let's put the year to... And I have not gotten this to work at all. It just literally... He rejects it, pretends it's an invalid number, and moves on. Which is not fine in terms of doing this, so... To be honest, the average user is not going to notice. But we're not the average user. Whoa, it is really lagging. And I know September 14th, 2024 is a Saturday. Yeah, my computer is lagging. Well, I can't figure out my cursor. There it is. Yes, it's Saturday, September 14th. It's a little alarming. September 14th is a Saturday. And it's 2:44. So if I put in my pin here, welcome. Thank you for welcoming me, Windows. It doesn't set the date. Now granted, we can try setting it to 20,000. Let's do that. Let's set it to 20,000 and see what happens. Alright. Alright, let's set it to 20,000. I don't think it works past dates of 10,000 or bigger. So I don't think we're going to get much luck here. And if it says Saturday, granted, let me go ahead and try. Yeah, some interesting stuff here. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I was listening to Trans-Siberian Orchestra when during Christmas. But I know this website, calendarhome.com here, and we can go ahead and use that to actually see if we can actually see what the actual day of the week is. Right? Whoa. It suddenly loads, alright, yeah. We'll see if it actually loads September 14th, 20,000 AD. I couldn't tell because it just jumped the lock screen like it didn't exist. Sorry for the clattering. Sorry about that. Yeah, looks like it worked. Yeah, it worked. It is now 2:47 in the morning, September 14th, 20,000 AD. Wow. So it won't be able to witness the epoch because I can't get the time. I guess it's a time zone or something that doesn't want to actually work, but wow. 20,000 AD. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching part 1. Stay in tune for part 2. Hopefully, we'll be using older versions of Windows and testing the Wayback Proxy for future story-based videos, which will basically videos designed to look like they're in other time periods. Thanks for watching. To be continued.